Before there was fame, before his name in palace halls, before any king knew his face, there was a boy in the dark, barefoot on cold earth, eyes lifted to a living sky. His name was Jang Yeong-sil, pronounced Jang Yuhng-shil. This is Korea in 1395. The Joseon dynasty has begun, pronounced Joseon, a young kingdom strict and bright. Order comes from heaven. Birth fixes your place. If you are noble, you study. If you are common, you serve. If you are born a slave, you remain one. People call it cosmic order. People call it the way of heaven. The boy calls it a wall. His mother labors in the stables. In the coastal town of Dongne, pronounced Dongne, leather dries on wooden pegs. Salt wind stings cracked hands. Night falls with a horse's breath. He never stops asking, why do horses sleep standing? Why does iron glow then darken? Why does the moon change its face? She smiles with tired kindness. Curiosity feeds no stomach. But he keeps listening. He listens to tools. He listens to hooves. He listens to the small weather of a yard. He listens until listening becomes a life. He listens until silence speaks back. When the compound sleeps, he slips out. Grass is wet on his ankles. Hay and sea mix in the air. The sky turns like a slow wheel. Stars fix like nails in wood. Other lights wander like thoughts. He tracks the bright one at dawn. It fades and returns at dusk. He does not know the word Venus. He knows a faithful traveler. He sketches with a burned stick. He maps with a child's patience. One winter she finds him shivering. Blanket forgotten. Face bright with wonder. Come inside, she pleads softly. Do not let the cold take you. Do not let dreams take you. He points to 7 tilted lights. They turn like a wheel, mother. They are a little lower tonight. They will be lower still next month. There is a rhythm above us. It keeps time with breath. We are Kyunmin, she whispers. Pronounced Chunmin, low-born and watched. The sky is for scholars. Your duty is here on the ground. Do not bruise your heart on stars. Then I will serve the sky, he says. If I cannot be a scholar, I will be its servant. I will carry water for the heavens. I will remember what they say. Someone must remember. Years pass like steady footsteps. The boy becomes a young man. He learns weight by lifting it. He learns angles by repairing them. He learns time by missing sleep. He learns patience by failing often. A blacksmith folds glowing iron. The sound is a bell in fog. Sparks float like orange snow. He notices how heat travels. He notices where metal yields. He notices when it will not. A carpenter cuts a joint. The scent of pine is clean. Grain runs like water in wood. He sees force climbing a frame. He sees stress flow like rain. He sees balance like prayer. A mill wheel turns. Water is a hand that never tires. Stone hums under grain. Rhythm becomes a teacher. Repetition becomes truth. Truth becomes courage. In 1418, a throne changes hands. King Taejong steps down. His son becomes King Sejong, pronounced Sejong, a quiet mind in royal robes. A questioner among keepers. What if merit can rise? What if knowledge belongs to all? What if a king serves first? Courtiers shift uneasily. Old laws feel a breeze. Old roofs hear a new reign. Autumn brings an inspection tour. The young king visits Dongne. He looks and keeps looking. He does not glance and pass. He stops before a pulley. It is broken, yet better. Scrap parts. New path of rope. Stone in a leather pouch. Effort cut clean in half. Who repaired this? He asks. The stable master bows low. "A servant, your majesty." "Bring him," says the king. A young man stands trembling, eyes on the ground. "Look at me," says Sejong. "Did you repair it?" "Yes, your majesty, I did." "Do not apologize for solving. Tell me how you saw it." He draws the path with his hands. He divides load in the air. He speaks the grammar of force. He calls it simple and true. "Simple is not small," says Sejong. "Gravity is simple. It moves oceans and stars." "Bring him to Hanyang," pronounced Hanyang. "Bring him to the capital." The road to Seoul feels unreal. Mountains open like gates. Rivers shine like blades. He sits beside royal trunks. He touches a wrapped tool. He thinks of his mother's hands. She presses rice into his palm. She ties a string around his wrist. "Remember what you are," she says. "Chains do not forget a wrist." He bows and holds her gaze. "I will remember and build." The royal workshops are another world. Gyeongbokgung breathes with iron, pronounced Gyeongbokgung. Brass sleeps in neat rows. Saws hang like crescent moons. Books wait like doors in walls. "Access to anything," says the king. "Materials, masters, manuals. Let us see what his mind can do." Scholars hide scorn behind sleeves. Craftsmen weigh him like timber. He answers with work and time. He opens Chinese clocks carefully. Teeth of gears touch like lips. Oil smells like dark earth. He notes every ratio by hand. He notes wear, heat, friction. He notes what never lies. He fails and tries again. He burns fingers and learns why. He drops a gear and learns how. He bends a pin and learns when. He speaks little and writes much. Questions drift like smoke. Why this gear and not that? Why here does water falter? What is the smallest true part? He sleeps beside a bronze bowl. He wakes to the tick of cooling. He returns to the drawing. Sometimes the king appears at midnight. No trumpet, no procession. Only soft steps and a lamp. "You should rest," says Sejong. "Time does not sleep," he answers. "I must keep up with time." "What are you building now?" "A clock that speaks itself. Water that lifts a float. A float that turns slow gears. Gears that touch hidden fingers. Fingers that strike the hour." "Then build it," says the king. "Whatever you need, however long it takes." He bows deeply and begins. 2 winters pass in iron. 2 springs pass in failure. A valve breathes wrong and drowns. A float sticks and lies. A gear sings alone but jams in chorus. He starts again with calmer hands. He sands edges until they whisper. He files teeth until they marry. Whispers wander through the court. The king feeds a slave's dream. Treasury bleeds on brass. Sejong reads the ledgers calmly. He signs them with a steady brush. He bets on a different future. In 1434 the clock stands ready. Bronze vessels like nested moons. Pipes, tuned to a patient river. Floats, hidden like quiet lungs. Windows cut to show the heart. Figures waiting in carved stillness. A scholar stands with a bell. A drummer waits for the hour. A warrior's mallet hangs heavy. An attendant's chime is bright. Water enters like the first note. The courtyard holds its breath. Silence lengthens into a question. Then a clear strike answers. Then another and another. 9 clean notes at once. The sun agrees on a dial. The drum rolls the truth across stone. Vendors pause beyond the gates. Children turn their heads in lanes. A city hears a new order. Time belongs to everyone today. Time is counted in daylight and water. Time is fair when measured cleanly. Sejong steps down to the maker. He rests a hand on a shoulder. "You gave us precision," he says. You gave us fairness, he says. Genius is vision, not birth. From this day you are free. Rank is granted with ink, a home and a workshop too. Authority to summon materials. Authority to teach and lead. Applause blooms and withers. Envy plants a darker seed. Night returns to the workshop. He sits alone with his hands. I think of those still in chains. A clock is not a key. It is only proof of a door. It is the first hinge in history. One hinge makes a second easier. A second makes a gate swing. A gate makes a road appear. A road makes a journey possible. He smiles into the lamplight. He sharpens a chisel and begins. He builds public sundials next. Angbu Ilgu sits in the square. A bowl holds the sun's shadow. Lines divide an honest hour. Mothers teach children by touch. Merchants keep promises by shade. He builds the Honchonui, rings of bronze like orbits, pronounced Honchonui. Stars move in patient cages. Planets wander with rules intact. Confusion bows to repeatable paths. He builds the Cheugugi, pronounced Cheugugi, a rain gauge of exact volume. Every county keeps the same cup. Every farmer holds the same measure. Fairness becomes something you can pour. No land matches this system. Not China with its courts. Not islands across the strait. Not far kingdoms beyond maps. For a breath in history's chest, Joseon leads by quiet instruments. One cold night they climb the tower. Kwanchonde holds the sky close. Breath ghosts in thin air. The city sleeps like a dark pond. Stars salt the black like seeds. Silence feels alive and listening. My teacher said leave heaven alone. Mortals must not measure gods. Then why make them visible, he asks. So we could learn reverently, says Sejong. So we could harvest without stealing. So we could serve with understanding. Do you know why I chose you? Because I build well, he offers. Many build well, Sejong answers. You see where others glance. You hear the rhythm under noise. You read the conversation in facts. Wisdom is not a surname. Wisdom is a posture of mind. Vision can rise from stables. Vision can sit on a throne. He lets the words settle. He lets gratitude keep quiet. If I'm your eyes, he says softly. You are the hand that lifted me. I was buried before I was chained. You cut the earth around my roots. You gave light and tools and permission. You proved my thoughts could breathe. Perfect moments draw long shadows. Jealousy learns patience well. Power memorizes small failures. Power rehearses the speech of outrage. Power counts to 10 and waits. The 10th day finally arrives. A carriage cracks in inspection. A wheel mount fails under load. Dummies tumble without harm. A minor fault to engineers. A major gift to enemies. Wolves find the opened vein. The great hall fills with robes. Iron bites a maker's wrists. Faces wear civic grief. Eyes shine with private triumph. The chief minister steps forward. Grave news in formal tones. A royal carriage, great expense. Built by Jang Yeong-sil. It failed before the court. It dishonored the throne's dignity. It endangered heaven's mandate. Punishment restores the moral sky. The air goes thin around them. Sejong studies the man he trusts. Leave us, the king says quietly. The chamber empties like a tide. Bootsteps fade past pillars. Silence sits between two hearts. They say you forgot your place. Do you believe that, Yeong-sil? I never had a place, Majesty. I only had a purpose. That is why they fear you. Purpose ignores the ladder. The council hammers its verdict. Negligence wrapped in ritual. Words edge like lacquered blades. The king fights until breath burns. At last, the wall does not move. Exile is written with cold ink. He bows once as if in prayer. Thank you for the sky, Majesty. My work belonged to the people. My name can belong to dust. They take him through a side gate. The day refuses to look back. Records fray after that page. Some say he died in the south. Some say he lived under another name. All say the instruments kept speaking. The water clock held its beat. The gauge held its level truth. On certain nights the king walks alone. Steps ring on stone like rain. He climbs to the quiet tower. He faces the faithful sky. Yeong-sil, he whispers to darkness. The stars are still moving. He closes his eyes and listens. The clock ticks inside his memory. The drum answers from years away. He feels the people keeping time together. He feels fairness measured in public light. He feels friendship larger than rank. A scholar writes in a private book. They punished a man for a wheel. He had already built a horizon. He had already taught us to count rain. He had already made the sky legible. He had already given time to the poor. History names kings and battles. But change is built by rough hands. Hands black with iron dust. Hands gentle with measuring cups. Hands steady at midnight trials. Hands that keep listening. 5 centuries turn like pages. Replicas stand where originals stood. Museums breathe with quiet awe. Children trace shadows on sundials. Grandparents explain patient water. A nation remembers with touch. If you stand in Seoul at dusk, wind carries subway voices and bells. Neon writes its quick alphabet. But under the noise a hum remains, a mechanical kindness in public space, a promise that time is fair. If you stand in a small field, away from glass and engines, the earth still holds a pulse. The sky still keeps long counsel. Some nights it feels like music. Some nights it feels like home. People argue about sources. People argue about endings. The instruments do not argue. They do what they were made to do. They keep a steady witness. They say the sky belongs to no one. Old villagers tell it simply. He listened longer than most. He listened past pride and fear. He listened until silence sang. That is all a life must do. That is more than most lives manage. The world speaks softly. Most ears grow busy and tired. Once in a long while someone stays. He stands barefoot in the cold. He looks up and refuses to look down. And the stars feel seen at last. Time does not sleep, he said. So he kept pace with time. He made it honest for strangers. He made it audible for cities. He made it visible for farmers. He made it common for all. The clock still marks the morning. The drum still names the hour. The gauge still measures rain without favor. The sky still turns like a careful thought. The king still walks the tower in stories. The servant still listens in the ground. If you listen long enough, you will hear it. Between traffic and footsteps, between years and heartbeats. A steady, patient conversation. A craft that refuses to vanish. A friendship that refuses to end. Genius is vision, not birth. Fairness is measure, not mood. Order is service, not fear. The sky is a teacher, not a wall. The people are the reason, not the risk. And history is a long, exact kindness. Breathe and hear the quiet. Count the seconds on your tongue. Feel the weight of one true minute. Feel how it belongs to everyone. This is the gift he built. This is the country it made possible. When night returns, look up. Hold your questions like small lamps. Let patience be your craft. Let wonder be your teacher. Let work be your language. Then listen until the silence sings.